case. We also know that several people close to Mr. Butts, who we were charging later, saw them together in several different locations, people that he knew well.
You just heard it for yourself. That's Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy. She said they will be charged later. Who is she talking about? Who is the they? And who will be charged later? Is it CPS? Is it Shannon? Is it Cordell? We know Jarvis is already being charged. Well, let's help her out. We're going to play a little game of Jeopardy. We're going to assign points. And those who can reach 1,000 points can ultimately know who she's talking about when she said they will be charged later. But before we go into that, let me first explain that the unlivening of Naziah Harris is no game. We're going to go through this Jeopardy rounds so that those who've been following this case can actually see who she's talking about bringing these charges against in the future. But there is no point, at no point is Projects and Caseríos taking this as a game. This is a serious issue, and I'm breaking it down frame by frame for everyone. And this little game of Jeopardy will help us come to a better conclusion of who did it, why they did it, and who should be locked up for doing it. Let's go. Now, before we get into the most serious game of Jeopardy you ever played in your life, look at the smile of Naziah Harris. What was she saying in this selfie that she took on the last day she was seen by anyone besides Jarvis Butts? What was she saying to the world? In this news clipping, Kim Worthy explained it in the best way I ever heard it explained.
Live their lives. The picture behind me is of Zainaya, and that will always be haunting because it was taken just a short time before the evidence shows that she was never seen or heard from again. It was taken by Naziah herself, a selfie. That's the last known picture that we know about of her. And it was pointed out to me by one of the detectives on this case and by one of the prosecutors. She is smiling and waving and saying hello. But little did she know that she was really saying goodbye.
Now, in this first round, the first question is in the Naziah Jeopardy is worth 100 points. And the question is, will Jarvis Butts be the only one arrested in this case? Now, listen closely as Kim Worthy gives us the answer.
2024. In early February of 2024, the case was turned over to the Detroit Police Department. Frankly, that should have happened right away. But they began investigating immediately. The evidence would further show that through text messages that we know and that we have, Zainaya and this defendant were going to meet after school on January the 9th. We know that she did indeed meet up with the defendant that we're charging in this case. We also know that several people close to Mr. Butts, who we were charging later, saw them together in several different locations, people that he knew well.
Now, for an additional 200 points, who is that person or persons that will be arrested later on? Will Jarvis go down by himself? Will Shannon be indicted later on? Was Cordell part of this plot? Or did this Bonnie and Clyde duo act alone? Now, the next question that comes in is serious as cancer, and it's worth 500 points. That's right, 500 points. Should CPS be taken to court by Kim Worthy for what happened with Naziah Harris? Now, listen very closely to these next few clips. Be to God that someone stepped forward and gave this information to the proper authorities. Everyone on the screen that the Harris family never did report any of this to the Child Protective Service, but that's emphatically not true. They did report, and they gave clear details of what happened. Let's see how Child Protective Service did their job in protecting Naziah Harris.
Services. Her complaint came in on April 13th, 2022. There was an incident at a birthday party, the complaint reads. One of the children that attended the party accused Jarvis of sexual abuse. Naziah, and name withheld, reported that Jarvis touched both of them inappropriately as well. Jarvis touched name withheld in her private area, and it hurt. Jernell made the complaint over the phone.
They basically told me if they needed me for anything else, they would reach out.
Was Shannon aware of these allegations?
Reach out.
The next day, Jernell would receive a text from her niece, Butts' girlfriend, confirming that CPS had contacted her. CPS called me, the text reads. They called about the well-being of my kids. Then they called back to get Jarvis info.
Okay, CPS, you on your job. I see you call Shannon Harris, got her part of the story, and you got Jarvis Buck info. That's what's up, CPS. You on your job. You did everything you could, essentially save Nazai's life, or did you? Now, for all the marbles, let's take a look at why CPS going to be charged in this case.
Complaint.
I told them that there's a problem and they need to be aware of it. I am 90% sure that there's sexual abuse going on within the home.
Did you specifically mention Jarvis by name?
Yes, absolutely.
Whoa, Chemo Sabe. What's going on? It took a second cousin to come forward before CPS actually acted? What is going on? They are not reporting kids not going to school or kids with dirty clothes or underfed. They are reporting kids that are being abused sexually by a predator. What are you waiting on, CPS? What's taking so long? Oh, I was about to give you praise, but wait, whoa, Chemo Sabe. But wait, we got new development. CPS on the way to the rescue. They actually did an interview with Jarvis Butts. Let's see what happened.
That complaint, conducting a face-to-face interview with Butts, who strongly denied the allegation. A forensic interview was conducted with the alleged victim, and no disclosures were made. CPS said the home was clean and free of observed safety concerns. The allegation was denied, assigned a low-risk level. These are two complaints of at least 5 filed with CPS since 2015 naming Jarvis Butts. They allege concerns about possible molestation, physical abuse, or living conditions. Some of the complaints are generic, and none would ultimately substantiate that Butts was improperly touching children. Just over a year after the last complaint on record, Butts would be charged with sexually assaulting and murdering Nazaiah Harris.
I'm brokenhearted because this could have been prevented.
Now, wait a MF minute. You mean to tell me that an interview was conducted and he denied it? The house was clean and well furnished and stocked with food, so there was no signs of molestation going on? Wait a minute, let me think about this. A house that's clean, well groomed, well furnished, and stocked with food clearly says a CPS officer mind that nothing nefarious is going on here. Now, if you guessed the yes, you win the 500 points and closer to that 1,000. But look at the punishment for his actions. If the senior deputy director of Michigan Department of Health and Human Service, Children's Service, basically he's the head of CPS, Child Protective Services. We want to let him know that we own your ASS, Mr. Demetrius. We own your ASS for the job that you all did in the Nazaiah Harris case. No, y'all ain't off the hook. You ain't off the hook. None of y'all off the hook. Everybody that was involved in that case is going down. Starting with you, Mr. Demetrius. Now, if you can answer this one question, you get 1,000 points and you can win with just one answer. Armed with the fact that Shannon has seen the text messages, armed with the fact that in 2022, 5 complaints against Jarvis was filed by the Harris family concerning Nazaiah and other family members. With all this in text messages from CPS to Shannon saying that we're investigating Jarvis for touching your niece. Now, this is the $1 million question and the one that can win it all for you. Knowing all this, did Shannon still send Nazaiah up to Jarvis' shop after a year after complaints came in that he was touching Nazaiah and other family members? Answer that question, and we'll let this video answer it for you. Now, here is the little shop of horror, the auto shop that Nazaiah Harris was sent to by her auntie Shannon to clean up on a daily basis with a known SA offender. This is unbelievable. The condition of this shop, the area that it's in, that this young lady will be sent here on a daily basis with 2 grown mechanics in a shop that looks like it was depicted out the movie, The Shop of Horror. The torture that went on in this shop had to be unbelievable. They got an account of a 9-year-old who visited this shop with Naziah and said that she seen them engaged in sexual behavior and was asked, a 9-year-old was asked to join in. She had to testify to this during a preliminary exam. What kind of auntie, what kind of family member, what kind of friend would allow a 13-year-old to be up at a place like this, whether they were SA offenders working there or not? This is not a place for a 13-year-old schoolgirl to be cleaning up and working around. And you're going to see in Shannon's text messages, she used a singular pronoun, her. It was never all about them going up there to clean up. She used the singular pronoun, her, when she said, Naziah said, do you still want her to come up to the shop and clean up? You got to listen closely to the words that she used, because they are the words that express what your thoughts is. There was never a time where Naziah was always accompanied by someone else. This day, or that day in that text message, it was clearly about her going up to this horror shop by herself. Here's went missing. This is a text message from Shannon to Jarvis Butts, asking him, do he still need her niece to come up to the shop and help clean up? Because Naziah had asked her to ask Jarvis, do he still need me? Listen to this clip.
I do remember this message.
Okay, and did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay, and what did the message say?
Tilla said, do you still need her to?
Okay, and do you know what is that referring to?
It was, Tilla had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Now at Projects in Caserillos, we take this as a serious matter. This is no laughing matter or no game when the unlivening of a child takes place. We did this today to illustrate that there are key points from the CPS that could have prevented this. Shannon's actions could have prevented this. And who is actually responsible for the death, it still remains a mystery. But one thing we are for sure that Kim Worthy did say, and you heard in that clip, she did say there were more arrests to come. All we got to do now is sit back and wait. God and justice is on Naziah's side. Tune into all the clips that you've seen. Tune into some of the other stories from Naziah Harris. And remember this from the Bible. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And I'm going to let you hear one more time for sweet music to your ears. Kim Worthy saying these words.
We know that she did indeed meet up with the defendant that we're charging in this case. We also know that several people close to Mr. Butts, who we were charging later, saw them together in several different locations, people that he knew well. We have